Hello everyone, Andy Wolverton here with some film noir news for you. Many film noir fans already know this, but Indicator, the UK company, has just announced its newest film noir box set, Columbia Noir number 4, with 6 film noir titles from Columbia Studios, all of them appearing on Blu-ray for the very first time. So let's take a quick look at what's in the box. We start off with Walk a Crooked Mile from 1948, directed by Gordon Douglas. Now, this is a fairly early entry into the subgenre of Red Scare movies or anti-communist noir. At an atomic plant in California, authorities discover a security leak. Fearing that vital information may be channeled to a hostile nation, the plant calls in FBI agent Daniel O'Hara, played by Dennis O'Keefe, and Scotland Yard detective Scotty Grayson, played by Lewis Hayward. It's pretty clear early on that the leaders of the communist cells are Onslow Stevens and Raymond Burr. Are you surprised? But who's the person that's leaking the information? This is a fun semi-documentary noir that I really enjoyed. It also co-stars actors you've seen in other noir pictures: Philip Van Zandt, Frank Ferguson, Reed Hadley, who's in just about all of these, Gail Storm, and Ray Teal, who must have been standing by the set of nearly every film made in the 40s and 50s. Indicator hasn't announced all the extras from this one, but it will have at least one short film from 1949 called Policeman's Holiday, about an American detective coming to England to help sort out things with a Scotland Yard detective, and another short film called Routine Job, a story of Scotland Yard from 1946. Next, we have another Walk title, Walk East on Beacon from 1952, directed by Alfred Werker. So this one has more spies, more communists. It follows the semi-documentary template seen in Walk a Crooked Mile and earlier films like The House on 92nd Street from 1945. In Walk East on Beacon, we have FBI Inspector Jim Belden, played by George Murphy, hot on the trail of a communist spy ring, although the trail is growing cold. Someone at Project Falcon, a U.S. government defense project, is leaking information to the Russians. So Falcon's top mathematician, Dr. Albert Kafer, played by Finley Curry, discovers that his son has been kidnapped by the communists and will be released only after Kafer has given up the project's findings. Kafer wants to cooperate with the FBI, but is also desperate to save his son. Now, the communist spy element was very familiar to audiences by 1952, and you pretty much know what you're getting into here. You're going to have voiceover narration, an obligatory shot of J. Edgar Hoover, hidden cameras, plenty of guys in lab coats milling around, looking into microscopes, guys enlarging documents, and pointing to spots on maps. It's familiar stuff, but still, Walk East on Beacon is another fun Cold War noir. This one will have a new audio commentary by Frank Krutnick, author of the book In a Lonely Street, Film Noir, Genre, Masculinity. There's also 2 March of Time documentaries, G-Men Combat Saboteurs from 1941 and G-Men at War from 1942, focusing on the FBI's efforts in nabbing spies, fifth columnists, and general all-around bad guys. And there could be more extras on this one. So let's step away from the spies for a moment and go to Pushover from 1954, directed by Richard Quine. Paul Sheridan, played by Fred McMurray, is a pretty straight-laced cop who's on a stakeout to find out if Lorna McLean, played by Kim Novak, knows anything about a $200,000 bank haul that her boyfriend was involved in. Only one problem. Sheridan starts falling for Lorna, who wants him to knock off her boyfriend so she and Sheridan can make off with the cash. Sounds a little like Double Indemnity, and it stars Fred MacMurray. So many people dismiss Pushover, but I like it a lot. There's some really nice cinematography by Lester White, and who also shot some of the Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce, Sherlock Holmes pictures. Dorothy Malone is also in this one. She has a nice role as a brunette who lives next door to Lorna. And this was also Kim Novak's first major role. Pushover contains a new audio commentary with film historians Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson. Author and critic Glenn Kenny also takes a look at the career of director Richard Quine. Next, from director John Farrow, A Bullet is Waiting from 1954. Stephen McNally plays a sheriff taking handcuffed prisoner Rory Calhoun to stand trial for manslaughter when their airplane crashes in the California wilderness. Calhoun knocks out McNally, no small feat, unlocks the cuffs, and takes off. Calhoun discovers a remote cabin, the home of a woman named Callie, played by Gene Simmons, who manages a sheep ranch. Meanwhile, McNally is in hot pursuit. I have not seen this one, but John Farrow made some really good films, including three of my favorite but very different noir titles: The Big Clock, Where Danger Lives, and Alias Nick Beale. There's also an extra on the career of Gene Simmons and maybe more. Next we have Chicago Syndicate from 1955, directed by Fred F. Sears, with more from Dennis O'Keefe. An accountant is ready to spill the beans to a reporter about Chicago businesses being infiltrated by the mob. Unfortunately, this accountant gets bumped off. But the reporter recruits another accountant, played by Dennis O'Keefe, to infiltrate the syndicate run by mob boss Paul Stewart. Love Paul Stewart. It looks like O'Keefe may get some help from a woman that's already on the inside, played by Allison Hayes. This one will contain a new audio commentary from Toby Rowan, and again, maybe some more. And the set closes out with The Brothers Rico from 1957, directed by one of my favorite crime film directors, Phil Carlson. It's always great to see more Richard Conte on Blu-ray, and this is a really good one. After leaving the mob 3 years earlier, Eddie Rico, played by Richard Conte, is happily married, has a thriving business in Florida, and couldn't be happier. Then Eddie's brother Gino calls to tell him he needs to leave the country. There's a hitman after him. So Eddie goes to straighten things out with the only mob connection he trusts, the boss, played by Larry Gates, who tells Eddie that things are even worse than he thinks. He says, "Eddie, your brother Johnny might be talking to the DA about the mob's activities." Tough. Nothing is as it seems, and Eddie's life of domestic bliss is about to come to an abrupt end. This is actually a really good transition film with more realism and authenticity than some of the noir gangster films from the late 40s and early 50s, and it sort of provides a bridge to films like The Godfather, which would come several years later. I really like this one, and I'm really glad to see it getting a Blu-ray release. This has an archival introduction by Martin Scorsese, a new audio commentary from professor and film scholar Jason Ney. Again, there's probably more extras coming in this entire set, but you also get 6 comedy shorts from the Three Stooges, each one riffing on some aspect of the 6 films in this set. Now, I'm not much of a Three Stooges fan, but I'll watch them and maybe even learn to love them. Columbia 4 also includes a limited edition 120-page book with new essays from great writers such as Beth Ann Gallagher, Bob Hertzberg, Sophie Monks Kaufman, Omar Ahmed, Jen Johans, and Monica Castillo. Like all of the Columbia box sets, noir box sets from Indicator, this one is Region B locked, and it is limited to 6,000 units. So the release date for this collection is September the 20th, 2021, but you can pre-order this set directly from Indicator right now. Now, usually with their new releases, Indicator offers a discount if you bundle together all of the new releases for that month. But this time, Columbia Noir number 4 is its own bundle. So you'll get 10% knocked off the price. But you'll have to order before the next new release announcement comes around, which is probably going to be in about a month. So there you go. And if you haven't picked up the previous Columbia Noir box sets, do that as well. They don't appear to be in danger of going out of print anytime soon, but why risk it? Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and please consider subscribing. I will see you soon.